Hello, my name is Efte Gary. I'm an architect from Holland, and in this final video, this is the final phase of putting the whole board together with the new mechanical keyboard with these new switches. And I'm gonna solder the part together. Before I start, I want to show you that the board is clamped and put tightly with all the switches. All the switches have their own flux applied. I've checked everything and make sure that the flux is evenly spread out, and I've set the temperature to about 230 degrees. Make sure you always have a clean tip and always be careful never to place your hands close to this hot iron, and make sure it's clean and no gunk or rust or anything. And I have here a very thin soldering lead, which helps me to apply as much as I need. I have a headlamp that illuminates my board. I think the temperature should be a little bit higher. Let's bring the temperature up to about 250 degrees. See if that works better for us. It does work better. The flux is melting nicely, and that's a nice joint. Make sure to go over them one by one, not to stay too long on one side, because then it is possible to rip off the connection points on the PCB. Now, I'm not an electrician, so I cannot tell you all the advice. This is how I will do it. And I believe we have a nice joint. Let me show you that. This first one, I used the clamps so that the PCB is nicely... Oh, that's a really nice connection. So that is our first switch. I'm gonna go through the process, so I'm not gonna show all the switches one by one, but just several important ones. The first ones, you want to make sure that the PCB is really tight. So I will use the clamp again for those initial. As you can see, it presses the switch really nicely onto the board. So the first ones is always nice to have this pressure applied, and then after that you can go over the board without the use of the clamps. But for the first ones, it's nice to have, and for me apparently 250 degrees works with this 0.4 millimeter soldering tin. Then go to the other one. I'll try to hold my breath, not to inhale the fumes. I don't know why, but the smoke always goes directly to my nose. For some reason, it knows where I am. It knows too much. Nice, beautiful. That's a beautiful joint. And there's another one. Beautiful. Yeah. Next one. Oh, there is another one that needs probably some clamping on the edges. So I will just gently get some, clean the solder a bit. That's one. Now you can of course use a thicker soldering wire, but then it's very difficult to feed the exact right amount. Sometimes if you just move a few centimeters, you give it too much solder, and then you are stuck with a big clump of solder. But with the thin solders, you can apply exactly as much as you want. I prefer that. Don't mind playing a bit more with the solder. So yeah, we have our first line here, and oh, that's really a strong joint. It's really firm, it cannot go anywhere. So now I'll proceed with the rest of the board, gently moving the elastic away so it doesn't get in the way, and then we'll fast forward this process as I go through the rest of the 100 or so connections. Okay, I'm gonna pause the process now because my battery is running low on my camera. I want to show you the end result so far. So we have here unsoldered parts, and here are the finished solder joints, nice and shiny. That's what you only want. I think shiny sizes that are same size, and they're really nice, sparkly, shiny. These are finished yet, and this is still what I have to do, and I'm making sure that all the switches don't move too much and they sit perfectly flat on the PCB, and that the PCB is pushed all the way down to the metal plate, to the back plate. So I'm gonna stop now and gonna show you the final result in the next video. All right, see you.